Yesterday, we looked at your channels. Today, we're going to look at your videos you've been submitting using the forums down below. And then today, we're going to be taking your channels, going into your content and talking about the ways in which we can get people to stay watching your videos after they have clicked. Now, we have an obligation to stay in your videos and watch a little bit and give you some feedback, but other people on YouTube don't have that same obligation. They will click away if they feel bored or if they feel like the video isn't giving them what they promised. So we're going to be going through a lot of those strategies today. We'll also be answering some of your questions as we go forward. So thank you all for being here. Let's welcome on co-host number 1, Viper. How's it going?
Dan, you are using strong language there, man. I don't know if I would agree that we are obligated. I mean, we're doing it at the goodness of our heart, but we're not obligated by any means out here, yo. Just
as soon as I hit live, the obligation begins.
Hello, Dan. Hello, crowd. How are you all doing today?
Welcome, welcome. And then co-host number 2, it is Jeff. We saw you asking for Rob, so I thought I would, but no, we're pulling the rug.
Yep. This is a total rug pull.
Jeff, so happy you're here. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you to both of you. We have a whole bunch of channels waiting in the wings. We've pre-selected, and then we're going to be going into random selections of your channels as well. Those forms are down below. If you're new, the way it works, pick the gaming form or the non-gaming form, depending on what kind of channel you classify yourself as, and fill that out to the best of your ability. We will then pick them at random. So whether you've submitted already or you're going to submit in the future, it could be picked. But if you submitted last week, the form has since been cleared, so you will need to submit again. That's everything I can think of. So let's go ahead and jump into the first channel that's submitted on the non-gaming form. And I'm just going to pull up their form real quick because we have a question down here they answered. They put a lot of effort into their content, but views and subs are hard to come by. What are they doing wrong? Help with titles would be great. So it is Nore Films, I think. And with that question in mind, they did say help with titles. Let's watch the first video and then maybe come back to the question about titles.
It's our second day exploring the capital of Andalusia, the city of Sevilla. Today we will visit the majestic Plaza de España and stroll through the beautiful Maria Luisa Park. We will then have a look at the Golden Tower, which was the starting and ending point of once flourishing trade route.
So 20 seconds in, I mean, we got some really nice footage, nice commentary, good ambiance with the music there. So really cool stuff. I just want to see a little bit watching 4K. So it did look like it was that level of quality. They have affiliate links to the gear they use. So definitely not their first YouTube rodeo. Who would like to go first? How about Viper?
Sure. So the title, let's go. Since you want to ask about the title, let's go with the title. So the title of this particular video is The Ultimate Destination for History, Culture, and Top of Seville, Spain 4K. First off, I'm not sure why 4K is in the title, but you don't need it. Secondly, I would kind of revert that title. I would title it Seville, Spain, The Ultimate Destination for History, Culture, and Tapas. Because you want to, if you can, you want to put the keyword at the front of the title, because what you have to remember is that if you have a longer title, or if you use a longer title, YouTube will truncate it. So when I'm scrolling through my YouTube feed and I see your video, I'm not going to see the Seville, Spain part. That's going to get truncated out of there. So that's why I say revert the title, put the Seville, Spain part at the beginning of the title, and then the rest of the descriptors after that. So at least I know what I can get myself into when I see your video on my feed. The other thing that I noticed as Dan was scrolling down the page is that it looks like you are tag stuffing, and that could be a detriment to your video if you're putting too many tags in there. So I would maybe think about limiting the amount of tags that you put in there. You don't really need that many tags. I would say maybe 5, 10 top. So just think about that in the future. But the intro itself, I mean, man, the intro was magnifico. You gave us the breakdown of what's going on. You gave us some B-roll of stuff to expect later on in the video. The actual content itself is great. I think you might just want to work on your titles and maybe your thumbnail too.
Jeff, what are you seeing? What are you seeing?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm in agreement with that. The longer titles kind of don't do it for me personally, so I would probably want to challenge myself. If I was Nore Films, I would challenge myself to try to keep them under 50 characters if they can do it. And then secondarily, I'm not sure. Now, I'm not familiar with this location in Spain. I'm hoping that the thumbnail represents a very well-known like landmark in that location that makes it very obvious where it is, because we don't want to create any confusion, right? So that's one of the things that I would hope it would be. But aside from that, feedback on the video itself, I loved the first 20 seconds. I liked the way it came in. It did set, big word alert, it did set the ambiance. So so it set the ambiance, it set the mood, the music was right, the narration, the pacing of the narration was very good, the B-roll was excellent. So I like what I've seen so far. I think if anything, unless you have any notes, Dan, we should probably check out how the videos are ending.
Yeah, I love that idea. I love that they're using chapters, by the way.
Agreed.
So, yeah, a lot of value here, depending on what your goal is with this video. If you're watching to figure out what destinations you want to go to, or if you're just watching to be along for the journey, either way, I think those are very, very helpful. So the last chapter is called Plans for Tomorrow. It's quite long. Let's look at like the last 15 or so seconds.
This palace is probably the best example of Madehar architecture in the Iberian Peninsula, combining Romanesque, Gothic, and Renaissance structural elements. We will then try tapas at the famous Bodega de Santa Cruz and end our day enjoying a flamenco show.
Hey, Dan, can we go back and replay like the first 5 seconds of the video? Or first 10 seconds?
It's our second day exploring the capital of Andalusia, the city of Sevilla.
Okay, that's weird. So the music at the end seems louder than the music at the beginning. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I can hear him at the beginning, but I could barely hear what he was saying at the end.
I was going to say that when I heard the music at the end, I was kind of wondering if it was a little too much at that point. Like, this music seems great for the build-up of the video, but I kind of wonder, is it always that intensity? Like, I want to go to the middle of the video and see what the music's like.
Yeah.
The tower was badly damaged by the Lisbon earthquake of
I like the slower music now that we're into the video. What do you guys think? Is it a little too much with the music? Like, what are we feeling?
The music is fine. I think it could be a tad bit lower, but it seemed like definitely at the end it was a little bit elevated and it was hard to hear him.
Yeah, it was for sure clashing. I'm glad that Viper brought that up too, because we have to be mindful not only of those volume levels, but also the energy in the music, right? When it's coming to an end, you shouldn't have that exact same energy as you would in the beginning musically. Like, maybe it should be, if you're kind of ending it, it should be maybe on a more relaxed note, something a little more chill. So you have to kind of think about, something a little more relaxed, if anything, but also watch those volume levels. So I totally agree. Because it was for sure clashing. I mean, I think somebody else even in the chat caught that as well, that at the end, the voice level and the music level was not working together.
Yeah. I was going to say, because the great call out there, I was going to say the way they did their end screen is kind of the classic missed opportunity. I'm going to mute it so we can see it pop up again. They're not telling you to go watch a specific video. A playlist comes up of their time in Spain, I suppose, and then a single like YouTube short comes up. This might be the latest video, like automatically set by default, or it could be something they chose. But it says like the words they're saying are like, tomorrow we're gonna do this or something like that. And that's like, that sounds to me like the perfect opportunity if you have that video ready, or if it's coming soon, to say, tomorrow we're going here. And if you want to watch that journey, the video's on screen now. Get rid of the subscribe, get rid of the 2 videos here. Just put one option only, and then make that the next video that makes the most sense for this viewer to watch. We've noticed a lot of end screen engagement when we do that in our own content. A lot of people who've tried this for themselves have attested to this strategy working very, very well. So that's our advice there, is like, can you point people into the direction of a new video? Because if you do, they're probably more likely to subscribe, even though you didn't do a subscribe call to action.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe the video that he was referring to at the end was ready, but I kind of had the feeling that it wasn't ready. It was something that he was going to put up later on. But you always want to make sure that you are leading them to a video that already exists, so they can go and watch the next one. So if you don't have that video ready, then maybe think about leading them to another video.
All previous videos are linking to the next in the playlist. So they have like they know what's coming, right? Like, we've linked them all in the playlist. So what we're suggesting is to tell people why they should watch the next video, regardless of what you make that video. Just give them a reason, like vocally say the reason you should go watch this video next. I know it's a little bit different because based on the style that you're making your videos, that would be a different kind of like way you're kind of breaking the fourth wall, which, just as I watched a little bit of your video, it seems like you've kind of built a nice fourth wall between you and the viewer. I would break it down though, because I think you're going to get more people interested in watching the next thing. Tell them why they should watch it. If you just put these static playlists up here, you're probably not getting any interaction. You don't have to follow this advice. We're min-maxing for you. We just want to see you, you know, get more views across your channel.
That's the thing. Using that kind of strategy, you can actually see the results show up on your in-screen percentage, like views, like whatever channel you're sending them to. Let's say theoretically you experimented with this strategy, right? You remove the subscribe button, you remove the second option, you just have the one video or the one playlist that you're linking people to, and that other video or playlist, when you go into the analytics there, you'll see the in-screen views coming in because you've specifically told someone where to go. But just like Dan said, it's up to you if you want to experiment with that or not. If you feel more comfortable with what you're doing already, by all means.
There was a video we did it with recently, but I couldn't find it.
And I can't speak for Dan or Hefe, but I would argue that I wouldn't put a playlist on the end screen. I would just put one single video on the end screen because then it takes them right to that video. Because the cool thing about playlists is that if you have them in a playlist, then if they go to that next video, then the end of the next video that they watch will gladly or probably lead into the next video in the playlist anyway if you have it set up correctly. So the playlist will do the work for you. You don't have to have it in the end screen. So just make it easy for the viewer if possible, in my opinion.
Yeah. And for this one, it doesn't have to be ready. You can link to a previous video.
Yeah.
Or a future video. The way you do it is just say, when that video is ready, it'll be on screen now. I've seen people do that. And you just have to remember to go back and put the end screen in when you have the video ready. So that's what I would do. It's a good strategy for getting those. What we're talking about here is session watch time. A session starts when somebody sits down to watch YouTube. So they've started a watch session. We want them to spend that session on your channel as much as possible. So if you get them in one session to watch 2 of your videos, that's a really strong signal to YouTube that, hey, this person really likes this other person's content. And now they're getting recommended your videos, whether they subscribed or not. So that's what it's all about. It's a hack for session watch time. All right. Let's look now. I'm going to take over for a minute, you guys. You guys can just chill out because we're going to look at the first gaming channel that's submitted. It's going to make me geek out pretty hard. Okay, I'm just warning everybody right now. This is JuicyBeet, and they're playing old school RuneScape. I like old school RuneScape. Good game. But what's really interesting about this game, well, a couple things. It's celebrating its 10-year anniversary as of right now, like today. And the YouTube community is thriving. There are creators in this space that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they basically do a lot of series like this person's doing where they document their progress in the game. So with a brand new channel that's only a couple weeks old, we already have over 300 subscribers, and their first video has over 4,000 views. So the first thing I want to say is, hey, like anyone who thinks YouTube hates small channels or whatever the myth is these days, no, it does not. You can absolutely have a video that you post take off. They did have a question for us on the forum. Just advice on keeping up the momentum. Got some luck on the first video. Thumbnails are hard. I don't think this was necessarily luck because what they did in their first video is they started what's called an Iron Man account, and they're making this account from scratch. That's very, very common for people to jump onto a new series because people like to see somebody start from nothing and build up. So this was, I think, more strategic than this creator is giving themselves credit for. So I want to watch maybe one of the more recent videos and kind of see what it sounds like, if we have any tips for like production value or anything like that, and we'll go from there.
Time for the first 99 on the account. Okay, fine. I didn't just stand in Wintertot and fletch till 99. I don't know how you saw through that. But we are definitely still getting our first 99 today. So let's go. And that is our 400.
Riveting. So the what was missing for me, I appreciated the zoom edit and things like that, but a little bit more excitement would not have hurt. That definitely can help you and get people excited. I will say though that they do have like a sense of humor. They're making fun of themselves there. You saw the crudely drawn on achievement that popped up on the screen for a second where it said 99 fletching as if it was an MS Paint. So I appreciate the little bits of humor. Little bit of music, a little bit of like something to just kind of get people in the mood, never hurt. So a little more editing. I will also say that the playback, it is 720. I can go to 1080, but it doesn't feel quite sharp. I don't know about you guys. I went to 1080 and it lagged everything. But I don't know about you guys, but it felt like the footage was kind of blurry. You know, could be of a higher quality.
Yeah. So
1080 is
Dan's
a little
point-
bit better.
Yeah, to Dan's point, first of all, yeah, the quality of the image is a little, it looks a little hazy to me. But I think the other thing that I have an issue with, maybe if you were into the game, you know what the first 99 is, but I don't know what that means. So the first 99 what? So I need a little bit more context there. But I have a serious question for all of you all in the chat right now. And I want you all to respond in the chat the answer to the question, however you feel. If Viper or Dan or Rob or Hefe or Travis were to come on these live streams every week and review your channels like this. Hello, JuicyBeet. Welcome to vidIQ. We're going to review your channel today. Let's take a look at this intro, guys. Let's get into it. Would you be into that? Would that excite you all as an audience? I'm going to go with no, but maybe I'm wrong. And this is what we talk about when we talk about passion and energy. You need that energy. I'm not saying you got to get all wild and crazy, but be excited about what you're doing content about. And some of y'all saying yes. I don't know how y'all are saying yes, but hey, more teach your own, I guess. But I just need some type of energy, man. I need a little energy, just a little bit.
Transference is real, man. So if you put energy into the camera, into the mic, you feel it on the other side. Your viewers will feel it. And people might think it's false, but it's something that performing artists have been doing for a long time.
Facts.
So if the person that's on stage performing in front of you in a concert, if they're having the greatest time of their life, everybody in the crowd's going to be having the greatest time of their life. So it comes from there. So it comes from you. And that takes some time to build, obviously. I didn't sound like this when I started. Viper definitely didn't sound like that when he started.
Dude.
Probably same thing with Dan. We all have to start at the beginning. So it takes a little bit of time to build that up. But yeah, you definitely want to up the energy a little bit.
Mm-hmm. There's some great examples in this community of people who do bring that level of energy to their content. And I'm sure this creator knows them very well. You've Settled, you've Jimmy, you've all kinds of people that you can follow that are at the top of their game in the upper echelons of this YouTube environment. And they play the same game. They're doing the same, things that you're doing in terms of like, I need to get level 99. And it's going to be very tedious, but they find ways to like bring the energy into the content despite that. Not that you didn't. It's just that we see room for improvement. So I think that's our critique there, but it's not to say you're not doing a good job. I mean, obviously by the views here, I think you're doing an excellent job. You said you're finding thumbnails hard. I would say that based on the first thumbnail and going to the latest, I don't know about you guys, there's been a huge improvement. And it was already good, but we have 3 elements on the screen not fighting for attention at all. Everything's doing good. The first one was mostly just text, making a new Iron Man in 2023. Text. Still did good despite that. But the latest thumbnail, I think, is a really strong example. So I think, although you might find thumbnails difficult, and they can be, I think you're on the right track.
Dan, who is the character that is like almost in every thumbnail?
This is their RuneScape character, basically, and it's in different outfits.
Okay.
Yeah. I know this game very well. So I can answer many of your questions.
Nice. And one thing I want to say too, because I think people are missing the nuance in what we're talking about when we say energy. We're not telling people to scream. We're not telling people to yell.
Yeah.
Just to be very clear, that's not what we're doing. There's nuance between having no energy and bringing energy and screaming. It's not black or white. There is a massive gray area in there where you can bring energy. Because if I wanted to turn it down and just speak in a normal voice, I could speak like this. Or I can talk to you the way that I talk to people on my YouTube videos. Right. Or I could be yelling. So there's different levels to this. So there's nuance. And I want you guys to understand that nuance. It isn't just being too quiet and yelling. There's a lot of middle ground there. So don't miss that nuance, please.
I want Loud Hefe now. Can we get Loud Hefe in here? Let's get Loud Hefe.
The mic's gonna peak, man. The mic's gonna peak.
Let go.
Yes. Thank you. This is the right comment right here. I see it. I'm just waiting for it to pop up on the screen here. Hold on. Give me a sec. There it is.
Don't yell, just threaten. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Thank you. See, this person understood the assignment from yesterday.
Call back.
I love it.
Call back to a previous stream.
Call back to a callback. So yeah, when we like to say, like, turn yourself up to 11, right? Like take your personality, whatever you're comfortable doing, and just bring out the most of it. I want you to be yourself, but I just want you to be the most excited version of yourself. You are inside in the air conditioning. YouTube could be your job one day. Like, go into every recording with that level of excitement. Like, what a great job to sit here and play one of your favorite games just all day long. you know, that's what we want to see you bring to all of your videos. And I feel like we're really hanging on this channel with this topic. This person didn't have like the lowest energy ever. We just see a higher ceiling for you, like some room for improvement for sure.
For sure. Considering the fact their oldest video is 2 weeks old, they got time. They got time.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Keep it up. The hardest part about a channel like this, because it's an MMO, is everything slows down. The more levels you gain, the harder it is to keep going because you have to spend more time in between videos grinding to the next goal. So make sure you plan out your schedule very carefully. If you can't get a video out 1 week because you're stuck on a goal and it's taking you an extra week to grind it out, it's okay not to upload. The biggest creators in this space, I'm gonna show you guys one in particular. This is the top subscribed to channel in the RuneScape, old school RuneScape space. They had to continue putting longer and longer gaps between content because as their series went on, this really popular Tileman series they're doing, the grind became more and more and more. And so you saw less and less and less of them. I think that is to be expected in this space. So there's just to let you guys know, you know, don't hold yourself to unrealistic standards, especially if you're going to take on a challenge like this creator's doing. So best of luck to JuicyBeet. Thanks for sharing your channel with us. We'll go to the next pre-selected channel. And that is going to be Craig Creates. And Craig Creates said, is my channel growing at a reasonable pace? Just to quickly answer that question, do you feel like your channel is growing at a reasonable pace? That's kind of my first instinct when I see a question like that. I think this is great. Under 100 subscribers, over 100 views on every video, 3 videos so far. I'd be very, very happy with this.
All right, just a quick note before we go on. That's an interesting question. If my channel growing at a reasonable rate, what I don't want you to do, Craig, is compare your channel growth to somebody else's channel growth or a bigger creator's channel growth, because you can't do that on YouTube. There are so many variables at play as it relates to channel growth that it is literally impossible. Even if you had the exact same equipment and setup as your favorite creator, you would still not produce their results on YouTube because it just doesn't work. So just worry about your own process, your own journey, your own growth. And as long as you're happy with your latest video, here's the thing I try to tell everybody. As long as you're better than your last video, you are progressing. That's what you want as a creator. Be better than your last video and keep doing that video after video after video, and things will work out.
Absolutely. I will say the one thing you could be doing a little bit better, go back to the yellow backgrounds on your thumbnails, because you got the red Iron Man helmet on a red background in the latest video. And to me, that's the only reason I'm seeing, like, for low views. I think you're doing a really cool thing on your channel, but I think the yellow stands out way more. And you got more views off of that content. And this content's of a similar age too. So I would be reconsidering the thumbnails a little bit, personally. Let's look at the latest video and see what we're getting into.
Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Now today, if you've ever thought about 3D printing an Iron Man helmet, you've come to the right place. Now I've been getting asked a lot of questions lately. The main one, how to 3D print an Iron Man faceplate.
I'm imagining if this creator had a script and a camera on themselves while they were doing this part, like, it would be so much more energetic and so much more interesting. Like, have you ever considered 3D printing an Iron Man helmet and you're like holding it and shaking it at the viewer angrily? Like, have you ever considered this? And, you know, just really like bring out that, you know, that excitement. You just like made this. That's so cool. But yeah, like you're just kind of, you have the thing up on your thing and you're just kind of like scanning around back and forth. Like, I know I need movement in my screen, so I guess I'll just kind of move the camera back and forth a little bit. And it's not, you're not giving us what we need to see. I want to see the helmet.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Dan, because there was something missing for me too. I agree with you there. Again, it's that low energy thing. Now he had a little bit more energy than the last person, but I still felt like the energy was not there. And then this whole static graphic screen of you doing the CAD rendering, I'm sorry, boring. I'm just gonna let me just put it out there. That's boring. I don't mind if you have it up there for like a second or 2 or 3, but just to have it up there for the entire intro, I need more. I need more excitement in this video. This is boring. Okay, so I need you to do something a little different with this. Like Dan said, have the helmet in your hand and do what you gotta do. Show us the finished product and then go to how you made it. But yeah, I would rework the intro if I were you.
Or you know, hold the helmet and threaten them to to do it. You know, that's the other option. Just
Yeah.
just kidding. But I agree though, a script, like even if you only script the first 30 seconds, right?
Right.
Even if you don't want to write a whole script, I don't write entire scripts mostly, but not completely. But I heavily script the first 30 to 45 seconds just to make sure that that comes out very concise. So even if you only script that first stuff, right? Or, you know, whatever it's going to be up until you actually get started on this process, the how-to, the step one of your how-to, just tightly script that and it'll come out much more concise. And even if you're only showing this, right? Even if you're only showing this on the screen, just having a more concise script there will make it much better as far as the intro is concerned.
So one thing this creator needs really bad is screen capture software. You know, super amateur look when you have a screen that you need to show your viewers, but you've not invested in screen capture software. There's a number of things you could do. We're using a service called StreamYard to do this live stream, and I'm simply sharing my screen through that. OBS, you can capture your screen through a program called OBS. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, one of the more recent editions of it, I think they all by now should have it, you have something called Shadowplay that you can install. And Shadowplay captures whatever's on your screen in a very nice, clean format. It does a really great job. So if you have an NVIDIA graphics card on your desktop, look up Shadowplay and see if that's something you can get. So those are just a few ways off the top of my head that could help you screen record and get a nice high quality screen capture. Again, just going back to the quality of the video, we don't want people to click off of your content. You've set up a camera in front of your monitor. It's kind of pointed down. The screen looks kind of garbage because the camera's picking up all the little, you know, crap in the monitor. So get yourself some screen capture software at all costs. Like, just get that done.
Yeah. OBS is free, by the way.
OBS is absolutely free. Looking through, I did see as I was scrubbing, because I did look at this channel a little bit earlier, I did see a little bit of camera work. Maybe I was looking at a different video. This one is entirely done inside the software, which is a little bit disappointing when you consider like it's a video about 3D printing an Iron Man helmet. So a 3D printing is happening somewhere, but we don't get to see that. That's not an experience we get to have. So I do think that this is going to be also a case of, you know, it's how to 3D print an Iron Man helmet like a pro, but not being able to see it kind of makes me as the viewer feel like I'm not getting everything I kind of bargained for here. I want to see some of that in action, even if it's just B-roll, even if the most relevant thing is in the software. I want to see it in action. I know you have a camera.
There. Welcome to my new channel.
Because of this video.
Craig creates the first ever video. Now, today we will be talking about the Mark 7 3D printed Iron Man suit.
So, you know, you're mic'd up. We got some decent lighting. You're using the ceiling lights as well. And you know, but for a first video, this looks fine. The thing we noticed in the third video and the first video is that you're still welcoming people to your channel. Don't do that. That's another tip for you. We're just going to rapid fire tips at you right now. Don't welcome people to your channel. Get right into the content. It's just kind of a silly practice that YouTubers do sometimes, and I'm just on a crusade to get people to stop doing that. Like, welcome back to my channel. Like, on this channel, I do this. Like, the more you add to that intro, the more obnoxious it becomes. Just, hey, are you interested in 3D printing an Iron Man suit for yourself? Well, I'm going to show you how. You know, that's not this video. That was the third video. But what do you guys think after seeing this?
I want to know why that helmet is not in the third video, or why something like it is not in the third video, an actual visual real world representation of the helmet. Like where is that in the last video?
Mm-hmm. It would have been nice to have some more camera angles here. It's your first video. Again, I don't want to be too hard on someone's first video, especially that did this good. Okay, you did pick up the camera and start doing a walking tour of it, which is great.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, like, this is kind of what we want, like some more dynamic things here, and it really gets detailed too. You get really into those crevices there, and we can see a lot of the detail in the suit. Can you wear it? That's my other question.
There you go.
Is this wearable? So that is Craig Creates. A lot of different tips there for you. I feel like we picked on Craig a little bit, but for 3 videos, these types of views, like, you're doing really, really good. I'm hoping what we've just helped you do is skip a bunch of steps now, and you can start to make even better videos a lot faster. Because a lot of this stuff, I was making some of these mistakes myself, and nobody told me this stuff, and I spent a lot of time, you know, at a certain quality level on YouTube.
Okay, I think all 3 of us need to have a quick thought about intro. So let me get into this. So You just heard Dan talk about why you don't need to be saying welcome back to your channel, this, that, and the other. I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently myself, and I've literally seen creators do that, and then they go into like a whole like backstory intro or thing, everything except what the actual content of the video is, and it is annoying. And when you start doing that and you go on for longer than you should, I'm out of there. Like, here's the thing about YouTube. When a viewer clicks on your video, they're clicking on your video because they are believing that you're going to deliver on the promise, either in your thumbnail, title, both, whatever. When you take all day to get to that, deliver on that click, that makes me not want to watch the rest of the video because you don't value my time. And I don't know about the rest of y'all in the chat, but I value my time. I am ruthless about my time. And if I feel like you as the creator don't value me as the viewer's time, I'm not going to give you my time. So this is why we always talk about delivering on the click. As soon as I click on your video, I need you to get into the content immediately because then I feel valued as a viewer. Dan, Jeff, what you got that?
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. That's one thing you have to always keep in mind, right? And this took me a while, even for myself, to understand, because when you first start YouTube, you're still kind of coming across it thinking of yourself instead of thinking of the viewer. And you really got to remember that, right? You always have to put the viewer first. Is this experience, basically whatever I'm doing on my one of my videos or my live streams, I'm thinking, is this going to make their experience better? Is this going to make this more watchable for them? Am I being respectful of their time? Because they're giving you time for a view. Are you being respectful with that? And if you're not, even if you think, I mean, because we do these things innocently, right? We all had intros and stuff. We're doing this stuff innocently because we don't know. So the reason that we're telling you guys this now is to save you that step, to save you that headache. So you can get straight into the content quicker so that more viewers can identify with you immediately. Like, hey, look, this person's not wasting my time. They're getting straight into the content. They're not, they're doing it as quickly as possible, basically. So hopefully we can help you guys kind of skip that growing pain and just get straight into the content, man.
This creator here has started using lower third text for their social handles and things like that instead of introducing themselves verbally, and they're seeing higher retention, which is great. We do that. If you go to any of our videos, you'll notice my name or Rob's name pop up in the lower third, and that's all we do to introduce who the heck is talking to you right now.
Even Hollywood shows have started doing this. I think at least 10 years ago. And shows that you have like the little intro songs and they used to have the credits of who's in the show and different things like that. But then like 10 years ago, there was a shift. Instead of doing the intro song and the credits and things, as soon as the show starts, they're getting immediately into the show. And then like that creator just said, you might see a lower third of the title of the show, and then it just keeps going. There's no credit scene, there's no song. You're just immediately into the show. If Hollywood isn't doing it, then we got to take note. So,
yeah, there's a skip intro on Netflix shows for a reason.
Yep, there you go.
I love this super chat here. Never expect more value than you offer your viewers.
Pew, 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 pew.
The wisdom. I just can't with that. That's amazing.
I like that.
Never expect more value. We're going to steal that, by the way. I know you gave us a super chat and you paid us. We're stealing that now. That's
that's property of vidIQ.
No, really, that's really a good way to think about it. Never expect more value than you offer your viewers. Thank you, Jeff. Super chats. We'll be happy to answer some of your questions. We won't be reviewing channels based on super chats. We don't want to create a financial barrier to entry here, but we're happy to answer some questions from time to time. And we have one here. Bad to make a video that's already been done. No.
Make it.
Yes.
Nobody can make it like you can.
Let me show you an example. You guys are gonna hate me. It is JuicyBeet. All of this has been done before.
Yep.
And they're getting 4,000 views in their first video. But this format for a RuneScape video has been done 1 billion times. Just 1 billion with a B. So people watch it because they enjoy it. People watch these series because they want to see people, they want to watch someone progress through the game that they're playing too. What's cool about this game is it's very long and tedious and grindy. So they're playing alongside the people they're watching. So there's a lot of value in that for them. So it's okay to do things that have been done before. Every creator does it to some degree.
Hey, Dan, if somebody in our chat wants to get their video review today, how should they go about doing that?
They should give us $1 billion, or they can submit for free. Or they could submit for free using the form below, and it might get randomly picked.
Tish, wait, Tish, you are awesome. Thank you for that, Tish. Awesome.
We have one here. Thank you for the help yesterday. I'm fixing my channel by sticking to one content, not all scattered. All-Star Gamer, awesome. Thank you for sharing your channel with us, and best of luck to you. We do hope to see you again soon to see how you progress. Thank you, guys. I was looking at my old thumbnails and titles, and I've learned so much and have grown. I've never been reviewed yet. I guess they're saying, but they've learned. I want everyone to know that we don't need a review to improve. Philo Rogue, thank you.
Thank you. That's what I did. That's my story. So
Philo Rogue is a regular here. We appreciate you. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for sharing that. Remixed my long into a short. YouTube removed it. Why? No telling without kind of looking to see your data, what might have happened there. Was it reused content? But not, I'm not saying your own reused content. Did you originally use somebody else's content to make your content and then remix that? I'm not really sure. It could have been a glitch too. It could have just been like a oopsie daisy.
It's
Remixed,
possible.
Kind of a new feature.
You know, but usually they'll let you know why. They usually send you an email. This thing was taken down for blank. So hopefully you have that information. We can't tell you that because we won't know. So, but I have seen mistakes done on YouTube side when somebody has, say, like a mothership type of thing, like they've done a full podcast and then they've cut like sections out of their podcast and then they've uploaded them on the same channel. And let's say they did a full podcast, and this is very specific with somebody I was working with. They made 6 videos out of one podcast and like 12 shorts, right? One of the 6 shorter videos, like 10 minutes a piece, one of those videos ended up getting removed and for reused content. But it was like, they disputed it. They're like, hey, listen, all of these are from the same podcast. We're answering specific questions. So they were able to reinstate the video, but it was just it was like a mistake essentially. So, but yeah.
That can also definitely happen. Let's see. Since a month, I don't have views or viewers from countries other than mine, even on shorts. I translate content, as always, into 20 languages, cooking channel. So they're only getting views, according to their analytics, I suppose, from people in their own country. And translating the videos is not getting them views from other countries.
Are the recipes that you're making stuff that people in other countries would be interested in? Right? You have to think about that. Right? So it's like, what country are you trying to aim for? Let's say theoretically you're aiming for, Mexico. So ideally, as somebody who's aiming for a Mexican audience, I would be making regional Mexican dishes specific to specific regions in Mexico. I'm not talking about your regular tacos and burritos that you get at the taqueria spot down the corner. I'm talking about like real regional foods. That's what I would be aiming at if I wanted an audience from there, because you have to think about interest. What's interesting to the person in that country? So are your recipes interesting to people in these other countries that you're aiming for? You have to really, really think about that.
I think native language wise, it's a bit tough because, I mean, you're spending time getting your captions in different languages, things like that, which is great to do. It's just a lot of people, like, I think you're going to get the best experience if you as the viewer target videos that are going to speak your native language, because it's less work for you, right? Like you're hoping that people from these, 20 other regions are going to sit down and watch the video, but just have to turn on captions, and that's the experience they're asking for. But like Jeff said, if they're not interested in the food, and or if they they can get that need met somewhere else. Let's say someone's making a similar dish, but they're making it in their language. You're competing with that. So you're kind of fighting an uphill battle. I think it's cool what you're doing, but it sounds like it could be taking up a lot of time or money to get all their videos translated. I would say cut your losses here and just focus on these specific regions. And in the future, what you could do, we did this. This is, again, more expensive. We have a Spanish channel, a whole separate channel. It is dubbed. It's Rob and myself still on the channel, but we are dubbed over. So a Spanish-speaking person wouldn't have to read captions to understand what was happening. It looks a little funny. You can go watch if you want and check it out. But that's how we do it. And that channel is completely targeted to people who speak Spanish as a first language. So you guys probably don't get recommended in your feed if that's not you. Because we're kind of competing with it, right? We're serving that audience English versions of the videos. I wanted to do this one. I'm thinking of uploading once a week instead of twice. If that's going to improve the quality of your content, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Agree completely. Slowing down. I've seen people slow down and grow faster because the quality of the content was better. And the secondary benefit, which I think is really the most important benefit, is they got some of their time back so they weren't so stressed out on content creation. So
Yep.
if slowing down, give it a shot. I've told so many people to do that, and for some it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I say give it a try.
Also, there is no right answer as far as how often you should upload. It literally depends on you, your lifestyle, your wanting how much you want to upload, how much work you want to put in. It's up to you. Nobody can tell you a right or wrong answer for that. So go by your own pace.
Yep.
Let's do one more and get back to channels here. Reached 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours, and got monetized in 5 months. Congrats. Wow. You guys are the big reason for the success. Excuse me. Thank you so much. And I hope people are taking notes.
That's why we're here.
That's really great to hear. I've tried to remind people that there are people right now watching this live stream who are not engaging in chat because they're too busy taking notes. And once in a while, we hear from one of those people. So congratulations on your success.
Yeah. Shout out to all the lurkers, because I was a huge member of the lurk squad before I became a mod and before I had my own real channel and before I got hired by vidIQ. I was lurking and taking notes while I was at my day job fixing copiers because I wanted to learn how to improve my stuff. So huge shout out to everybody who's not in the chat, who's just busy taking notes and staying on their grind. So huge shout out to you guys as well.
Yeah, and the other thing is that there's a lot of you all that are here on a regular basis, and you might be here taking it all in. But my question is, are you actually taking the information and applying it to your channel? You can listen to every live stream that we do to the cow come home. But if you are not taking these skills and applying them to your channel, nothing will change for you. So we need practical application from you all if you want to see that growth.
So the next channel we're going to look at is actually someone who just gave us a super chat a moment ago. Let me pull up the screen here. It is, I hope I'm saying your name right, is Lamine the correct pronunciation? They are, I believe this was the super chat we just got. They are looking to, this is the person looking to slow down and go to one video a week.
And to be clear, we're not reviewing their channel because they gave us a super chat.
Right.
Just we want to make that very, very clear.
Yes.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah, I should have probably mentioned that. This was a pre-selected channel already. So I've actually seen this. I almost picked this channel yesterday, and I think I picked so many at that point. I think it accidentally just got cut. So I do apologize. But now you've been picked today. So they are going to be asking us, how can they improve their hook? Great question. That's exactly why we're here.
Did you know that investing in the right items can make all the difference in becoming a top-tier programmer?
I have the suggestion. I think the way you're editing your audio is compressing it too much, and we're kind of missing some, like, maybe some syllables. Are you guys hearing the same thing I'm hearing?
Yes.
Hey, play it for me one more time.
Yeah.
Did you know that investing in the right items can make all the difference in becoming a top-tier programmer?
What's the technical term for that?
No, I think it almost sounds like it's a combination of some sort of a compressor, but also like the noise gate is too aggressive.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that might be what's going on there. So yeah, that could be definitely an issue. But that takes some dialing in because we've all gone through audio issues. When I swap my interface, there's a video on my channel recently where when I swapped my interface, it was peaking. So the whole time I was doing the whole video, it was peaking my audio. So it just takes time. You got to get it dialed in. So no worries.
It is the first thing I noticed, and I find it a little bit distracting. So on the subject of improving your hook, that's just something to keep improving. Do some test recordings, keep playing with settings until you kind of like tune that in.
Yeah, and hopefully you can find a buddy that'll go into a private stream with you that help you get your audio dialed in, because there's a trap we fall into. Once we figure out that we can edit audio, people will over edit their audio. Same way that people will over edit their videos, and you really don't need much of that. So I was doing the same thing. I was over editing my audios, adding all kinds of filters and all kinds of stuff. Now there's literally 2 things on my audio, and that's it. Just a little bit of compression, add a little bit of bass. That's it. It just smooths it right out. Don't need all the extras. And now my audio sounds the same on my live streams and all my videos. It matches. And that's what I was aiming for. But it's just very subtle. It's a subtle approach.
These items are essential for improving your efficiency, your productivity, and overall well-being. As programmers, we know that time is valuable. So is our health. That's why I'm excited to show you these must-have items that will not only enhance your work, but also transform your lifestyle. So get ready to invest in yourself and become a top-tier programmer. Let's go. As a programmer, having a
This is really good energy. I think they're doing a really, really nice job.
That is the most smoothest transition from intro to content I've seen in a long time. I'm
Yeah,
really gonna
kudos.
need you to get your audio together, bro. Because the rest of it is like, hey, ooh, I love it.
And the thing is, he has a smooth voice, and the delivery is actually good. It's only the audio that's messing him up.
Yep.
So that's a crazy thing. And here's one thing you can do. And I how I got mine sort of dialed in, my audio wise, to get it better was I actually hired an audio editor on Fiverr, and I sent him a piece, and I was like, hey, what's up with this? What am I doing wrong here? And then I sent him the raw audio, and he was like, here's all you got to do. And now it wasn't cheap because he was basically teaching me. So I wasn't going to be coming back to him for repeat work.
Right.
But I was like, I just need to figure out how to get this dialed in correctly. And it might be worth doing otherwise. But that's all. From what I'm seeing so far, I like the intro. And I like the energy, and he has a smooth voice. The swipe to the transition was beautifully executed. That audio is just all that's messing him up. That's it.
Yeah, and they did say they'll work on the audio. Let's watch the. What do you guys think? I think the chapters make a lot of sense. They're talking about all the different things you can invest in. Let me give you one tip on chapters. I think there is a subset of viewers out there who would do exactly what I'm doing. They're going to look and see, okay, so these are the 7 essential instruments I need for any programmer. I'm a programmer. What do I need? Computer. Okay. Second monitor. Yep. Okay. Comfortable chair. Got it. Blue light glasses. Okay. I might watch this to see what those are. Mechanical keyboard. Maybe I'd look at their opinions on that, but I don't know. So you're kind of giving me everything I need right here without having to actually click into the chapters. I think this is one of those, this could be probably hotly debated. But I have been, when appropriate, I've been hiding what my chapters are about while still adding them. So in your case, I would say thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, thing 4, because I want people to watch and see what I have to say about them and not feel like they're getting everything they need from doing this. This is, again, I would say this is not the approach everyone goes. It's something I've been testing for myself. And I can't say whether or not it's like the right or wrong way, but I do feel like I'm getting a lot from these chapter titles.
Dan, I got a question. If you do chapters that way and you're hiding the thing that you're talking about, then what's the point of the chapter? I'm confused.
So in some cases, like for a how-to video, I'm trying to think of like a good example here. There are times where I use chapters where it makes more sense to talk about what the chapter is about because the title of it isn't going to spoil the value of it. But in this case, it's basically a list of things to buy. So yes, they could tell me exactly what mechanical keyboard I need, but if I already have some opinions because I'm a programmer, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, these are 7 things. And I know how to get my hands on these things. Did I do that?
You did.
Oh, I must have hit the button. Thought someone was being fancy. It might deter people. Look at your retention. Don't just take my word for it. Always look at your retention before implementing any of these changes when it comes to chapters. But in this case, because it's a list, like a shopping list, basically, I kind of feel like the video is like here. And I don't necessarily have to watch if I already have predetermined opinions about these items.
Okay, real quick, somebody said, how do you make chapters? You think what we got going on right here? That is the literal template. You put the time code and then what the chapter's about next to it, and you do it just like that.
It has to start with 0 too.
Yeah, it has to start 0.00, but then YouTube will take care of it. The only other thing that I will add, and this is going to be different from Dan, but I mean, that's why we have more than one of us, because sometimes we don't agree, is I wouldn't just put generic like things like computer, blue light glass and stuff. Put the exact product that you're using because chapters are searchable. They show up in search.
Yep.
So you're not doing yourself any favor by putting generic chapter title. Put the exact product that you're talking about in there. So when somebody's searching for that product on YouTube, your video shows up.
Your timestamp, your chapter can show up in search.
Yeah.
It'll look like this
is an underrated feature.
It'll look just like these down here.
Just like that. Yeah, exactly.
Except it shouldn't all be the same thumbnail. I think depending on where we're at, it won't be. But
I think on mobile it actually shows like a screen capture of that moment, something like that. But I've seen it look different. Yeah.
So again, I think at the end of the day, regardless of how you decide to do your chapters, we're talking about negligible differences. But I've noticed, like, I'll do a listicle about like the top 5 things to, I don't know, increase retention. And if I feel like the titles of those chapters give enough away where people will start to form an opinion before they even hear what I have to say, I'll hide it. Thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, thing 4. But if I feel like the chapter, I want it to be searchable and the value is not clear, right? Like, oh, I really have to listen to what this is about if I want to know. And I do want to know how to do this thing. Then I think they'll click on the chapter. But I'm just going video by video and determining that and just making an assumption about the viewer that isn't fair because it's not based on much except just my own, like, well, this is how I've done it before. You know, if I have blue light glasses being shown to me as like a suggestion, oh, I saw those on Amazon. You know, like I know exactly where to get those. I don't need to hear any more. So that's why I bring it up. But again, hotly debated, I'm sure. End of the day, probably negligible.
I have a question for everybody, Dan and Jeff included, before we move on here. This is something I've been seeing a little chatter on online lately, and we all three are doing it right now. But how do you all feel about the microphone being in the shot when you're looking at videos? Do you care? Would you rather the microphone be hidden away? Like, how do you guys feel about that? I don't really care too much, but I'm curious what everybody else thinks about the microphone being in the frame.
I think it's a style choice. I don't think it's like a right or wrong. Whenever I hear really good audio and I don't see a microphone, I'm always really impressed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really do anything for me as the viewer either way.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing, right? People can do it both ways. And there's people who are really all about their video quality. There's people who are very much about videography, cinematography, stuff like that. I get it. For them, it's an absolute must. If you can dial in not only your space, but your audio to where you can have a shotgun mic out of the frame and have your audio sound crispy, more power to you.
Yep.
More power to you. For me, I simply don't care about my mic being in my frame. I don't, because all I want is for the viewer to hear me clearly. I want them to hear my voice. I want them to feel my voice. And that's why it's here. That's a choice that I've made. I have a shotgun mic. I actually have a $600 shotgun mic, but because my room isn't treated, it doesn't sound as good as this. So I put it on the back burner. So, but for me, I don't care because it doesn't affect my experience as a viewer. So if I see a mic, don't see a mic, either way, I personally don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Appreciate the insight.
The only other thing I would say in terms, they asked about hook. I think we covered that. I think you should continue trying to improve your thumbnails. A great example of a great thumbnail from you is this one here about the day in the life of a software engineer. You're in the purple hoodie. I think this makes sense because it's like you doing your thing at your computer. But this one here where it's like must buy 7 essential investments for any programmer. The words must and buy are like not lined up, which is kind of weird. The background is, because of the background you chose, it's kind of dark, but also busy. Like you have these little lines everywhere. And then you're holding 2 items that aren't showing up super good. So I would just continue working on your thumbnails and trying to get cleaner and cleaner looks for them. But there we go. Thank you for submitting your channel. Best of luck. We will go to the next pre-selected channel here, which is going to be, I believe this is, yes, LegoHead Productions. I'm working on a future video where I first explain a struggle, then give a metaphor, and then provide a solution. So it's just in their comment form, they're telling us something they're working on. We'll go in at LegoHead Productions. I'm like, oh, what's this channel? It's someone who actually does Lego content while wearing a Lego mask. I thought it was fun. We'll take a look at the latest video.
M&R Productions spent years trying to make a LEGO set that would change LEGO forever, and that LEGO set is the 501st Battle Pack. And after finally being released in the year 2020, now in 2023, that set is finally retired. But the question is, how do we get to this point? Why was the LEGO Star Wars 501st Battle Pack made? Seems like a simple question, right? LEGO just needs more sets for...
I like the speed at which the video is moving, but we got to work on the lighting.
Yes, we do. We can't see you, bro. We can't see you out there being like Jonathan, and we can't see you. Come on, man, get it together. Yeah.
It's like this, right?
Yeah,
it's a little too dramatic, sir. I know you can have a flair for the dramatic. It's a little too. If I was doing ASMR, it'd be a little different. You know, we're kind of keeping it cool. We're smoothing it out. Totally get it. You know what I mean? But the vibe of the video doesn't match.
Right.
It doesn't match, man.
Yeah, this looks like a hostage situation. I mean, we have low light. What? We have low lights. We have someone in a mask, and it looks like they're gonna, charge some kind of bounty for this rare Star Wars set. Does anyone not agree with me? What is going on? Why'd everyone lose control? I didn't think this is dead serious. Look at this,
bro. Yo. Okay, I'm gonna need a moment, y'all.
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready either.
We're here to help you improve your content, okay? If we can keep you out of prison, I think that's helpful.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so we're in agreement.
Man. Yes, no,
we all
I
think
agree.
This looks really crazy.
Yeah, no, it definitely it's odd. It's definitely, like I said, it's a stylistic choice, but it's something where it doesn't kind of suit the vibe. Like going into this, like a LegoHead, like a Lego production channel, and the way that the intro started, this really was like, Like, whoa!
Yeah.
I could probably get used to it if the information that they're giving me is actually very useful, very helpful, on trend, on topic. But I don't mind the Lego head. To be completely clear, I am a Lego head myself. So is Viper. Pretty sure
Yeah.
Dan is too.
Mhm.
So totally cool with that. But yeah, the lighting is a little too dramatic. Just a bit too dramatic.
We got bright, cheery Lego sets. Leave the money in the park by 4 a.m. So that's the difference. I'm sorry, okay?
I didn't know
just
Dan was
need-
this funny. I like funny Dan. We need more funny Dan more often out here.
We just
Yeah,
need a
Dan,
key light.
we got spicy Dan today. That's what
I
we got.
love
We got
it.
spicy Dan.
Key light, please.
Yes.
I do like the editing a lot. I love how high energy this is. I like that they're telling a story about this discontinued Lego set, and it seems like they're very knowledgeable in what they're doing. And I don't even mind like the character. Like it does kind of mess with the audio a little bit being in that mask, but I don't think it matters too much because it's like part of the theme of the channel. And I think that works. The one thing you could do is just try to find ways to improve it. I was kind of wondering if you had the mic clipped inside the mask as a test, maybe you had it on your shirt one day, like just kind of keep playing with it to see how clear you can make the audio. But it's already of a pretty high quality, I think.
Yeah.
Let's look at a different one.
Yeah, the production value is
The
legit.
Lego brick shoe. Now, most shoes you grow out of and you have to buy a new one, but with this shoe, you just move the bricks around. Now, all you have to do is just. This shoe is also.
Been there.
This is great. Like the lighting is way better. I love the humor. I love the editing. This is fantastic.
How do you
This-
breathe in that thing is my question.
Frequent breaks, I suppose.
I would say so. No, I do like it though. The storytelling is good. That was funny. So I like where they're going with this. It's very different, and they're taking a unique track on this. So I'm guessing that in the last one where they had like the really dramatic dark lighting, that was a stylistic choice. So that's not like what they're doing all the time. Obviously, they can do good lighting. So I think that was just a stylistic choice, which is really interesting to see a Lego channel done in this way. It's different, and I'm kind of starting to vibe with it. The more we watch, the more I'm like, I may have to add this channel to my watch history.
Yeah.
Thumbnail wise, I'd say sometimes they make a lot of sense. They work. Sometimes they don't. Great example here. Things every Lego fan goes through. And like number 47, and you're pointing at like I assume a popular minifigure. I mean, this got 1,000 views. And then you looking distressed in the background's great. But this one, like saying goodbye to like this Lego set. Lego just stopped making this best-selling set. I think another dramatic look with you in the mask, like with your hands are on the mask and you look really distressed, and the set isn't blurred. Like the fact that it's blurred looks kind of, I don't know. It doesn't really. It just looks like a color. It's just a couple colors in the background. It's not really doing anything for me. You can show the set. I don't think that's necessarily a bad deal. What do you think?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Their Lego helmet. Can they get more Lego helmets with different facial expressions?
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Right? Like the YouTuber O face,
Yes.
and then like a really happy one. Like that one kind of has a smiley, but then like a sad one or crying. Like
And angry. Yeah.
just hear me out on that, because if we could show the different expressions like on the things every Lego fan goes through, I need to watch that video. Like I need to watch that video. I'm going to watch this, right? Because it gets me. And that thumbnail just with him like this is very expressive. But the facial expression doesn't change because that's just the one that's on there. But if they had different ones to make it more expressive, I think that would work wonders for their thumbnails.
Yeah. Also, your positioning in the thumbnails, you always leave a lot of negative room, like negative space. If you take a look at our own thumbnails, like we try to let our heads be like the largest thing in the thumbnail. That's mostly just because of ego, but it also looks good. So, for example, like when we use Rob in thumbnails, like see how the top of his head is kind of cut off at the top of the thumbnail. We have it here as well. So we try to really use up that space. So try to not have so much negative space in these thumbnails. I think that the mask looks cool and unique, and we can tell what it is. So really let yourself, if you're going to be in these thumbnails, take up a good portion of the frame, and then the other thing that you're talking about also takes up the rest of the space. Leave a little room sometimes for a little bit of text or an arrow or whatever you might need. This is great. This is a great channel. We hope we've given you some value, and best of luck. All right. Next pre-selected channel here is asking us, how do I make my videos more engaging? Is my video quality hurting my retention? It is Fantastical Follies costuming. So let's just take a look at the latest video.
A recipe for a Halloween costume. Take one Valentine's Day. Okay, that makes sense. Add a touch of gothic horror, of course. Add a soupçon of late 18th century fashion. And top it all off with a dash of 1980s new wave. Bake at 350 degrees for 2 hours. I think I can do that. After all, it's Halloween. Oh, come here and give me a little kiss. Oh, look at it. Oh, you're so cute. Hey, y'all. Jackie here, and welcome to Fantastical Follies. Today, we're going to be making...
Love the energy.
Yeah. Wow. That is awesome.
I think that to answer their question, they're wondering if they want to make the videos more engaging, and is the quality hurting their retention? There's definitely room for improvement in the video quality. I would say for this scene right here, you went from what I guess was standing to now sitting, I have to assume. There's a lot of negative space around your head. I mean, it's just kind of the framing now is a little bit awkward. I don't think any of this is going to hurt your retention necessarily. Like, you really got that exciting energy, and I think you've done a good job of like bringing people in. It's just something to improve on over time, in my opinion. What I will say is that the bit at the beginning, the kind of the comedy bit here, this kind of like made me wonder the video I clicked on a little bit. I was having trouble kind of following the story that was starting to unfold. And when we got to, you know, you kind of sitting there and it kind of became a more like, okay, here's what we're doing kind of vibe. I was a little more like, okay, now we can like try to piece together what just happened. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of wondering if we think people might drop off here only because they click on this and they get this introduction and it just kind of confuses a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I found myself looking to check the title with the video. I'm like, okay, what am I watching real quick? So because I do this for a living, I looked at the title to see to make sure I was at, make sure of where I was at. A viewer probably is not going to give you that courtesy. If they're looking at the title and then they see that, they may just be gone because they're not going to take that extra time to look at the title and reassure themselves that they're in the right place. So, yeah, I think there is something to that, Dan.
What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is a question that's going to be for Fantastical Follies, but the quickest answer to this would be in the retention graph. If on this video, which is 13 days ago, so we definitely have some data on this now, 375 views, are people dipping? Are you seeing a massive dip in the beginning of this video, and then where it levels off is where you actually get into the video itself? If that's what's happening, then this could be actually hurting your video performance. And it's cool. Like, I like what you did. It's definitely something where you get to show your personality, stuff like that, but it could be actually hurting the video itself. So that's something where you would have to look into your analytics to see if it's hurting or not. And if it's not, if it's actually holding on to people, then hey, you can disregard what I said. But that's something where I would look at the data to see kind of what's going on there, because I liked it. I like where you were going with it, and it showed a lot of personality. I'm just worried that because it's taking so long, because we go through that section and then around 30 seconds we start getting into the actual intro of the video, then how long is it going to be before we actually get to step one of how to make this, if that's what this type of video is. So that's what kind of worries me. Are people dipping and then jumping back in when the video actually starts, technically speaking?
Mm-hmm. So check out your analytics before making any changes at all. But yeah, that is kind of where we're at. I think we are all a little bit like, okay, what video did I click on? Overall, video is 26 minutes long, and it is chaptered all these different stages of the process of making the gown, which is pretty cool. It looks like a lot of different camera angles are being utilized here, a lot of different elements going on. So I appreciate the story. I kind of wonder, and we haven't watched the video, so it's not fair to make this distinction, but it is 26 minutes, and it is about creating this one article of clothing. Do we feel like that's a lot of time, too much time, not enough time? I'm kind of wondering what other videos in the space, like the costume design kind of space, I suppose, what the lengths of those are, because judging by the intro and stuff and the story that was being kind of set up for us, I'm wondering, like, could this maybe have been edited down a little bit more? Because of the questions about retention, I always have to look at the length of the video and ask, how far did the audience make it when they were watching?
Hey, this is totally fair too. This is a comment we're getting. Says, fashion and commentary channel here. It's important to note the personality counts for a lot. Yes, it does. And hers makes me want to keep watching. It's how she stands out from similar content. Completely agree.
There you
Completely
go.
agree. That's the only thing. Like I said, I have no issue with it at all because I love when creators show their personality. It's actually why I moved into doing my reviews live, because it lets my personality come through in a more natural way. But the only thing I'm suggesting is looking at the data. Because I'm not saying for them to pull their personality out. I'd want them to look at the data and see if maybe that they can rearrange the video a little bit to let the personality shine in different locations of the video without having 60 or 70% of your possible viewers that clicked in leave because of the length of an intro. So that's all I'm saying, just to make that clear. But I completely agree with that statement.
It's worth like noting with a comment like that, we don't know all the spaces on YouTube. You know, there's different rules, quote unquote, unspoken rules for different areas of across YouTube. So you guys will know you should know your space better than us to a degree, and you can take some of the things we're giving you, and at least you have a place to start your research. You know, the one thing that I think we have a tendency to do is talk about like things as if they're these definites, like, oh, this is what you have to do, and then that will fix all of your problems. Really, what we're trying to do, and what might get lost sometimes, is we're just trying to give you some places to start. But ultimately, the work is up to you. You need to be doing the research. You need to be doing whatever you determine out of all the things we give you, like to say, like, I don't know if I agree with that advice. Some of the things I said I do agree with. I want to implement these. So, you know your space is better than we do. All right.
Indeed.
So that was Fantastical Follies. Thank you so much for submitting your channel. Best of luck. Love the energy. Let's look at some super chats real quick because they're starting to stack up. We appreciate you. Waiting for my channel review. I can wait my turn. Thank you for the super chat. Best of luck. Is using vidIQ good for making titles?
Yes.
Funny you mentioned that. We actually have an AI title recommendation tool. So you can start to play with this and try to get some titles dialed in a little bit better. Who wants to give me an example?
Let's go with how to play basketball.
How to play basketball. Okay, so pretty straightforward title, but nothing too interesting about it. How to play basketball. Let's see what the AI thinks we could do with a title like this. It's going to take a moment to load, and we should get some different ones. Unlock epic court skills. Learn how to play basketball now. Unlock your inner baller. The trick to becoming a basketball pro. Master basketball in 10 simple steps. These can be great for ideas too. If you haven't made the basketball video yet.
That's what I was going to say next.
Uncover the secret to mastering basketball in 7 steps. Master the basics of basketball in 1 minute. You won't believe what happens next. So you can continue generating new recommendations.
Yeah, I like to come here and do this before I even start to try to record a video because it can give you so many different ideas or like kind of like the angle to take on it, right? Because learn how to play basketball now and master basketball in 10 simple steps, those are 2 different videos. Even though the premise is still the same, one's a listicle and one isn't. So the layout of the video is different. But one might be easier for you to make or more fun. So you can find these different ideas or even just different angles of attack on the same idea that could fit in better with your own personality.
Mm-hmm. So you can find this on our app dashboard, app.vidiq.com. Of course, you need to be logged into your vidIQ account. And if you want to have access to every single feature this app has to offer, you will need to be a vidIQ Boost member. You can join Boost by checking out the link below to our secret page. It's just for you guys. We don't talk about it too much. It's a secret. But you can get 30 days for $1 if you're a new customer. So definitely check that out. And you can have access to all you see here and more. So thank you for the super chat and opportunity to plug our tools. Love it. We have one here from Caleb. Advice on trying to break into a new game in the same genre. The game just released, but the publisher gave huge creators a month head start on the game, so all the guides are being pushed out rapidly. This is a classic conundrum. Sorry, Viper.
No, I'm going to say the fact that other creators already got the game is irrelevant to you. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, so if they wanted to make guides, they're behind now because they don't have, everyone's already sucked up all the initial search from like, how do you do this? How do you do that? So you could approach it from a few different ways. You could do more opinion-driven content where you are giving your opinion about different aspects of the game. You could try to find guides that haven't been done by going into the communities of people who are playing this game, find Reddits, find Discords, and find problems that people keep talking about that it seems no one's made a guide for yet, or at least if they have, it hasn't really gained a lot of traction. See if you can sneak in there and get one of those. Not everything's guides, though. Challenge yourself. Use the game in ways that maybe wasn't meant to be played, and try to find ways in which you can, like, you know, play based on a certain challenge. Put some stakes to that challenge, like beating this game or else kind of challenges is what I'm talking about. So those are just some ideas. Don't let it deter you. Another great thing you could do is like a top 5 video, top 5 weapons, for example, like things like that. So there are value-driven pieces of content you can still make, even if you're behind. But yes, the easy low-hanging fruit is now really, really hard to do because you are not going to rank as strongly as some of these really top-tier channels who already got there first. That is the rare case where I will say YouTube can feel oversaturated, but there's always opportunities to find a way to give your take on something and have it be valuable to the audience that is enjoying this content. My son and I have a channel. One video is so bad, I love it. Huh? Any pointers and when to release parts to a 3-part series? 1 day a week, a month? A lot of questions in here, I feel like. So they have a video and they have like a 3-part series, I guess, that this video is attached to. If this is a new channel, release them like 1 day at a time, I think. Just to, you want content on the channel so you can create that watch session. If people like what they see, they want to watch the next video. And if it's not there for them, you're losing out. So I would get those videos out if you have them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I would. There's also certain cases where I might let videos breathe, but that's later in your journey, I think. If you have a video that's just a breakout success and you were thinking about releasing one the same day, for example, like give it a little bit of time, because I don't like competing with myself in recommended feeds. But I feel like that concern quickly evaporates depending on how much time has passed, what kind of video you're making, all that stuff. I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, when you're just starting out, like if you have a series, just get them out there, definitely, especially if you have more videos you already have in your head and you're going to make more. Patreon shoutouts without crashing retention. How? So this is when people are in their videos like, hey, join my Patreon. Where are you all going? All I said was Patreon. Why did everybody leave?
Put them at the end of the video.
Yep.
Like, problem solved.
Yeah.
The viewer
I know
does.
people-
Here's the thing.
This is when they're like, oh, I'm going to give you a shout out. Sorry. Yes. They're not asking for patrons. They're recognizing their current ones.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, no, what I was going to say was, I mean, I know one of our friends, Juan Bagnell, the way he does his Patreon shoutouts, it's basically towards the end of the video, but what he does is he has it side-scrolling. So just the names just start to scroll. He mentions them, says, hey, you know, if you want to join the Patreon, your name can be here along with these names that are scrolling by on the screen. But he's usually still talking about the stuff that's in the video.
Yep.
So they just start showing up on there. So you can do that because you're still delivering value. You don't have to physically read their names. He has so many patrons that we'd be there for the next hour if he was trying to read off every single name. So just having him scrolling by, not in front of his face, but just off to the side, it works perfectly. So that might be an option to do it, but definitely at the end of the video.
I saw one creator at the end of their video do their Patreon shoutouts, but they made a game out of it. They challenged themselves to try to pronounce their like insane usernames and kind of made fun of themselves. And this was still at the end of the video, but it made it more fun. Like I wanted to watch. Normally I wouldn't care if people are shouting out their patrons, especially if I'm not in the club, but it just made it part of the content.
Yeah, that's good because that can be funny. So that can keep even regular viewers watching. So
yeah. David, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. We got one here. vidIQ lurker /user for over a year, 95,000 subs. Tools and streams are gold. Taking notes, implementing, adjusting, and watching your channel take off. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats on almost 100K subs.
Yeah, congratulations.
Savage Games, I made a video that is evergreen, but I can't replicate getting 160 VPD. What am I missing? VPD.
Views per day?
Maybe it's views per day. Are we making up acronyms now? We can't do that. 3 months later, normal videos get about 350 lifetime views. I don't want it to carry me anymore. So there's one video we assume is getting 160 views a day, and no other video has like come close to that video's success, is what I'm trying to parse from this.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to try to continue to replicate that video. I have a friend in the space that had a 1 million view video, and he spent the rest of like I think the next year trying to replicate that video, and it just didn't happen. And it kind of drove him crazy. So I would not try to replicate it. I would just go ahead and go on with your content and plan. Just because you have a big successful video doesn't mean you have to do that video over and over again, because that'll drive you crazy. Just continue to make your content as you were normally making your content, and good things will happen.
Yeah, that's I think that's the best advice. I think you can rest easy knowing you've been introduced to a lot of new people. I hope that video that's taking off is similar to the content you're making today, so that the people who watch your newest or your old video that's really popular want to see the newer stuff. But if they're not coming back for the newer stuff, that could be a signal that you're catering to too many different audiences.
All right, Dan, we got to feed the beast.
No. Yeah, we can do that. So let's go ahead. We're going to switch gears. We're going to start looking at your channels randomly. You've been submitting on the form. And we have the thing just for you. I'm sorry, I clicked on like 100 different things. All right, here we go. We have the thing just for you. It's the Claw. It's back.
Clawbert.
Yes, Clawbert. Dr. Clawbert. So we have on the non-gaming form 570 responses. On the gaming form, we have 511 responses.
Sheesh.
Yeah, look at that.
1,000
channels thereabouts. 187 will go to the non-gaming form. And we will see that it's an anime channel with 1,000 subscribers, and they don't have any questions for us. Let's see here. Give me a moment to reset my tabs.
May the claw be with you.
Oh, somebody in the chat is asking why are newer channels getting access to the community tab and older channels that have 500 subs don't have it yet, because it's probably still being rolled out. Y'all have to understand that YouTube kind of works slowly when it comes to rolling things out. So there are channels probably out there that don't have the community tab yet, but they will eventually. You just have to wait for YouTube to finish their rollout.
I got it at 16,000 subs. So for anybody that wants to complain about having 500 subs and no community tab, I didn't get it till 16,000. So, and that was after they implemented the rule where anybody after 10,000 got the community tab, and it still took 6,000 more subs for me to get it. So just want to put it into context for you.
So they call themselves Peanut Games, but they told us they're an anime channel, and it does seem like based on the shorts thumbnails we're seeing, that does hold up. So it's not a gaming channel, at least anymore. I want to watch one of these, but I'm going to warn you now. There's a good chance this is a lot of reused content, and there's not a whole lot of advice we can give you for this type of content. But we'll watch a little bit. If it feels too reused, we will let you know. I will turn off the music just in case copyright. So very simple. We left him. He died. And so I guess it's about a certain show, and we just have some captions on the screen, and it has over 1,000 views. So there is potentially an audience for this type of content where you're just kind of making fan content around certain series. I would say this is a weird critique, but if I were to critique this content, maybe the captions could be a little bit more high quality. And what you could do is use YouTube's tool. So upload the video to your phone, then upload it from your phone to YouTube, and use their captioning tool because it looks a little bit better. It makes it easier to read. And also, if you're on Android, for now at least, hopefully this comes to everybody soon, you can select the thumbnail, which is just an added bonus, not something you have to worry about too much. But yeah, I would say that's just like a way you can make the short a little bit better. It also gives you access to YouTube's music library from mobile. So that makes it even better, because if you feel like there's a popular song that goes good with this content, you have access to it and you can use it, scot-free, because it's like built into YouTube's app. You're supposed to use it that way. So that's one critique there, I think. Ultimately, continue making content that's going to cater to the same audience. It looks like you're doing that. You're covering a lot of anime. You're getting thousands of views. Anything to add from anyone?
for whatever reason, the content looked a little hazy. So I don't know if there's a way you can upload a higher quality video, but other than that, I don't really have anything to say.
With shorts in general, always remember that people will find them for the most part scrolling through the shorts feed. They will not get a chance to ask YouTube what to show them. It's just, I'm just scrolling and it's showing me random shorts right now. So because of the way shorts work, you want to make sure, and I think this creator did that, that people understand what they're watching the second it comes on. There's no time for intros or fluff or anything like that. Just like the value of the content is clear. The title and the thumbnail don't exist, so they are inherently the first like 3 seconds of the video. So there you go. We will move on to the first, or not first, a randomly selected gaming channel from the gaming forum. 424. All right. Ideas on gaming playthroughs with food tie-ins. So this is the gaming chef. Okay, I already have ideas, but let's see what kind of content they're making. So not many videos, and this is I guess an attempt to take two joys and cram them into the same channel. Let's watch and see what these videos are like.
That's how you do it right there.
So I'm going to turn off the music because I don't want to get a copyright claim. It's a very short video. It says chef cooking up day 1, but I'm not seeing any cooking.
Oh, I am. Just it's not the cooking that you're accustomed to.
Yes. So is it not actually cooking content? Because they asked, their question was combining food themes with gaming.
In this context, I believe that he mean cooking as in killing people. What do you mean by cooking up stuff? In this particular context, anyway.
Maybe in this yeah.
They're all here for, look at these right here. These are special items. We got the witch's hat, the pumpkin pie. We got all that stuff we're going to be going over. Yo, what's cooking, gamers? Today we are featuring the craft.
Okay, so the shtick is that they have a little frying pan with some plastic food in it. And this is the theme of the channel is like a chef playing video games. I think. It took me a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
Also, it's blurry, so I can't really. It took me a minute, and I'm like, oh, it's a frying pan. So the way the way you're capturing the footage is not ideal because the whole bit that you've set up is being blurred out.
Yeah, and it's not even real food. Like, why are you messing with a? Man, I don't know. Yeah, it just seems a little weird that you're using a fake frying pan with food toys. I don't get it. I guess I'm not the target audience for this.
You know what? I'm gonna say I really like this person's energy, and I think that they are trying to do something really unique, which I appreciate. What they're trying to do is, food pun, have their cake and eat it too. They want to do something that's like accessible to them, like a Minecraft Let's Play, but they want it to be unique at the same time and make a higher barrier to entry, make it harder for people to replicate the content. My suggestion to you is to take the chef thing. This is just one idea. You can completely ignore it, but take the chef thing and make it a real thing. I want you to set up in your kitchen, and I want you to literally challenge yourself to do a Minecraft speedrun of some kind while making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something more complex than that. And you have timers, like you have to finish the sandwich and the speedrun within a certain time frame or something like that. I'll let you workshop the details of the challenge. If you're going to be the gaming chef and you want to make like the kitchen like vibe and stuff, why not do it for real? Like, why not actually take this to the next level and do the thing that you're kind of pretending to do?
Where's the burger, yo? I need the frying burger in the pan, okay? What I need the real food.
To make it even more of a stronger tie-in, you should be making food that somehow ties to the game. So if you're playing Minecraft, and again, Minecraft and Modern Warfare, 2 different games, 2 different audiences, pick one. But find a food tie-in that makes sense. Maybe you're going to make cake from Minecraft in real life while speedrunning making a cake in Minecraft. So you have to grow the crops, you have to find cows to get milk, you have to do all that stuff while you have like stuff going on in the kitchen. Maybe you're racing, maybe there's a friend who's trying to make the cake and you're doing the Minecrafting. Like, there's a million different things you can do, and try to find every single way, every detail like to tie it together so it makes sense. If you're playing Minecraft, you're cooking for what reason? Well, it's Minecraft themed food. You know, try this. Right now there's a huge disconnect, and I'm trying to bring the two themes really close together, and I'm trying to do something for you like that I haven't seen done before. I'm trying to give you that idea to hopefully at least get your imagination going.
Also, Dan, we need to do this creator another solid and talk about these thumbnails, because these thumbnails are not it, my dude. They are not it at all.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was a gaming channel based on only the thumbnails. It doesn't, there's some text. It's green, kind of blending in the background, hard to read. Your facial expressions look energetic, but it's just the thumbnail composition's all off. What I would like you to do also is take some time to watch a thumbnail tutorial. In fact, you should watch Friday's video. I'll just tease that right now. We have a video coming out on Friday. You should 1,000,000% watch, because we go through a lot of these strategies. But yes, definitely find yourself some time to sit down and work on your thumbnails. They're going to be the make or break. Jeff, we've said a lot there. Anything to add?
No, man. I mean, you guys really kind of got it there. The content itself is a bit confusing with the whole food/gaming thing. So I agree on that point. Thumbnails definitely need work, because a lot of them look like screen grabs from a Twitch stream, and then they're just kind of throwing text on top of it. We're gonna have to do a little bit more than that. We're gonna have to take it a step further, my guy. We're gonna have to actually shoot. If it's gonna be a picture, you're gonna have to make sure you shoot an actual picture. Otherwise, you're gonna have to create a thumbnail from scratch. Doesn't even have to have you in the thumbnail. You can try different things, but yeah, there's definitely some work to be done here. Obviously, it's a relatively new channel. It doesn't feel, from their vibe, it doesn't feel like they're new to streaming. So that's good. It's just the thumbnails don't convey the fact that they are an experienced streamer.
You can also focus on games that have food elements in them inherently. Like, I don't know what Modern Warfare has, probably nothing, but Stardew Valley has like a ton of food in that game. Like, you can learn all these recipes, could give you some ideas. Minecraft has some food in it. So, like, you know, be picking games that have those, those opportunities for you to really bring the chef thing home. If you don't like the idea of cooking in the kitchen and playing the game, that's fine. It's a bit weird, but you need to find ways to, if you're going to be the gaming chef, and that's the question you're asking us, like, how do I make these two things happen? Those are the ideas we're probably going to give you, is like, play games with food themes and try to bring as many creative elements as you can to the table. So good luck. It's a very, very interesting idea. All right. We have more supers. I don't want to lose track of those either. So let's go back to some supers here, and we'll see this one. I have a monthly video opening series, I guess an unboxing series, opening a specific Pokemon mystery box. How do I differentiate the thumbnails and titles? Any tips? I would definitely look at the channels doing this already. There's many of them, and see how they're doing it. Look at the ones that are the best of the best. I'm not saying your thumbnails need to be up to the whatever standard they're at, but that's like a good starting point for you.
Yeah, I'd be looking at multiple channels at the top and start looking at what they're doing in common that's working, because you're going to start noticing patterns, right? When I do my research of other channels, I don't just look at one channel. I'm looking at usually somewhere between 5 and 10 channels. And I'm looking at what are they all doing in common in their thumbnails, and what are they all doing in common in their titles. And I actually take it further than that, and I look at the actual content to see what they're also doing in common, just to kind of get an idea of what's working in a particular niche. So that would be where I would start. You got to do your homework.
Do I need to put my face or my voice in my videos? I think depending on the content, it helps a lot. There's certain content where you don't need it. But I think the more of you can put into your videos, the more unique your videos become.
Dan, can you repeat that for the people in the back, please?
The more of you put into your videos, the more unique your videos become.
I mean, the site is just called YouTube. I mean, I'm just saying, you all. We want you. We want you in your videos.
Channel affiliates, how do I use them? Channel affiliates. I know what affiliate links are. If you're talking about linking affiliate links in your description, I'm not sure what a channel affiliate is. It seems like my co-hosts, I was trying to say a different word. Co-hosts are also confused.
Yeah, I don't know anything about channel affiliates. I mean, obviously there are different affiliate programs that you can sign up for, and you can include those links in your description. But there's really no such thing as channel affiliate.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yes, because I think the way that they're saying it, asked it, is like they didn't use enough words is really what it comes down to. And that happens in chat. People will use the least amount of words and expect us to decipher them like the freaking Rosetta Stone. So if they're talking about channel affiliates like what Viper's referring to, then yes, those will be affiliate programs that you align with your channel. And as Viper said, you could mention them in your videos, give them shout outs to reviews on their products, include their links in your video description. That would be your best bet. But I'm just not 100% sure what they mean by that, because they were too brief in what they asked. But hopefully we answered their question correctly.
Yeah. Amazon affiliate program is usually everyone's my first affiliate program. There's a lot of them out there though, and you can always be linking to the things that you're showing off in your videos, the gear that you use. And I just got my channel monetized yesterday. Congrats. And want to say, listen to these guys about SEO. Had a channel get 20 times my normal views because I was first in SEO.
Interesting. Right on, man. If you're making search-based content, then yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're getting your, optimizing your video for search.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Congrats. Thanks for sharing. I was getting more views with 180,000 subs than now with 420,000 subs and a few times better content. I emailed to YouTube creator team as well, but got standard answers, which makes no sense. So they were doing better basically at a smaller subscriber size. One thing we should tell you is that if you look at our subscriber size and then you look at the views that we get, there's not a solid match there because subscribers don't actually matter. The problem with subscribers is that people can hit the button and then they can never think about it again. They'll never unsubscribe. But if they stop watching your content for one reason or another, maybe your topic is getting kind of stale to no fault of your own. Maybe you've changed something and they're not into it anymore. Whatever it might be, they will still remain subscribed. And that's why the metric doesn't really tell you a whole lot. It's just a historic metric of like a thing someone did at one time. It's the equivalent of hitting the like button for the entire channel. You hit it once and you never have to worry about it again. So don't worry about the subscriber number and the views today. Like focus on what's happening today and try to separate the subscriber count from it. That's not necessarily the size of your channel today. All that is a historic vanity metric. It doesn't help you understand what's actually going on under the hood. So look at your return viewers graph. I'm going to pull this up real quick in the background because this is something that every creator, if you're worried about the similar problem, you should understand how this graph works. So this is in your analytics and it's under the audience tab. It's called returning viewers. And this is what our returning viewers are doing right now. We have 340,000 in the last 28 days returning viewers. So that means a channel with 1.4 million subscribers in the last 28 days, only 340,000 people who've watched our videos recently have returned to the channel, whether they're subscribed or not. This is a much more accurate metric as to what is going on in your channel today in terms of who's watching, new versus returning viewers. When you scroll over it, you get two bits of information. You get returning and you get new, the exact numbers for that day. This is awesome for us because we have the blue line and the purple line intersecting constantly, which means we're bringing in new people and retaining them and bringing in new people and retaining them. That's what you want to have happen. But you will always have attrition. There's always going to be people who stop watching you. For us, it's because of the type of content we make. There gets to a point where people feel like, hey, I got a lot out of this. And then they learn more and more about YouTube. They seek information from other sources. Perhaps they move on to our coaching program and they're not watching the free videos anymore. There's a lot of different reasons someone might stop watching vidIQ. So we're always constantly trying to bring in some new people. These examples here that YouTube is giving you, where it's the mostly returning and mostly new viewers charts, neither of these are good things. If you have mostly returning viewers, that means you're not doing enough to attract new viewers. If you have mostly new viewers, that means you're probably creating a lot of content that isn't building a community. You're just helping a lot of new people who've never seen you before. So you want, in my opinion, these two lines intersecting. This is a much better valuable metric telling you what's going on in your channel. Furthermore, do some research into your topic and try to figure out what's changed. Why might people be less interested in your topic today than they were before? Look on Google Trends for keywords that people might use and try and see. Maybe there's just a massive dip in interest in this topic, and now you're kind of fighting against that. That was my TED Talk on returning viewers. Enjoy. Xavier, I get lots of views in my shorts, but I still need to get them to subscribe. I watch a lot of shorts from a lot of creators that I'm not subscribed to. It'd be nice if they would. I'm sure those creators feel the same about me. But at the end of the day, YouTube keeps doing a really good job of feeding me the content I want to see without me subscribing to anybody. And that's kind of what you're up against. So try not to ask them to subscribe. Just let those numbers build up naturally over time. Maybe ask once in a while, but I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't make that part of the strategy. Not that that's what they asked, but I think that's the natural conclusion is us telling them, hey, ask them to subscribe, but I wouldn't overdo that. I've been talking a lot. I'm going to let someone else take the next one.
All right, Dad didn't since I 1.3 million subs, but losing subs. I added a short series that blew my channel up, but now struggling as I'm back to main content now. Ooh, yeah. Isn't that common case up? You went viral for something, but you are trying to get away from that. That's hard, man, because they came to your channel for that particular type of content, and if you're not going to deliver them that content, then you're going to lose some people. So now you're at a crossroads. You got to make a choice. Can you feel comfortable and satisfied and fulfilled going back to making that short content that got your channel to where it is and make your viewers happy? Or are you going to just do the regular content that you were doing and be satisfied with losing the subscribers? Because again, if you're not giving them what they came to, what they signed up for, if you're not giving them what they signed up for, then they're going to go. They're going to leave. That's how we are as humans. So it's really just up to you how you want to approach that.
Yeah, it sounds like the main content is something you've been doing for a while. It's not really worked out. You come back to it. It's not really working out. Do some research in your space. What are you doing on YouTube, and who's doing it also, and how are they approaching the content in a way that, you know, there must be something you could be doing that could bring in some new people. And then finally, EV Pulse, I wish YouTube would just get rid of subscribers. I'm sure that people have mixed feelings about that. Even me saying that they don't matter. I still like having the metric there. I think it's fun. It's a fun thing, but people should remember it's a toy, really. Like at the end of the day, the subscribe count is really not helpful for many, many, many reasons.
Yeah. And actually at this point, I would argue that it's detrimental in a lot of ways more than it's helpful. At this point, from where we started to where we are now, like even now, just as a bit of insider juice, just recently had my channel judged based on sub size, and because of that sub size, I was given an insulting offer for a partnership with a company. And because they don't realize, they don't see the bigger picture. They're looking at literally a vanity metric. Oh, well, you don't even have 100,000 subscribers. You know, we're working with channels that have millions. And I'm like, I can outsell all of your 1 million+ channels on this product. But because you're only looking at a vanity metric, you're judging me on what doesn't actually matter. So that's what I mean. That's just on a personal note. That's kind of what's on the side of it. So I'm on that side of it as well. It's a vanity metric. It's nice. It's great. Like I'm going to be excited when I get my silver play button. But at the end of the day, it's literally a vanity metric.
Wow. Imagine not working with Hefe because of it.
Well, it's some people can't see the bigger picture, bro.
Ooh.
That's literally what it is. They can't see the bigger picture, and that's fine. Not everybody in marketing really knows what they're talking about. And so it is what it is.
It just sounds like that company hates money.
Apparently.
Literally.
Apparently. Yeah. It's like, all right, man.
All right. Let's pick another channel via the Claw. I just had to double check that it was muted. 224. All right. It is piano tutorial / music. They have 1,000 subscribers. How to get more views on the long form content. All right. Check that. 2,000 subscribers. So I don't even, they filled out the form and said 1,000. You've double that, which is awesome to see. Let's take a look here. So I think what we can do is maybe look at the latest video just for a little bit. They're very, very short videos, I'd say. I think with this content, because there's so many other piano channels doing a similar thing, there's probably it's probably gonna take you a little bit more to maybe stand out. What do you guys think? You've seen these before, right? With the notes coming down and the piano.
You know what, to be completely honest, I got kind of bored pretty quickly here. It's literally just a static screen with key playing. Like, is this supposed to be teaching me how to play piano, or are we just playing a tune? I'm like, what's the point of the video? I'm just trying to figure it out, you all. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's a how-to,
No,
and it's
yeah.
not listed as such either.
Yeah, it's not how to, but
So yeah, so I don't think it is. But this is sort of a standard for of this niche within this niche, essentially. The piano niche and piano cover niche, and then there's this type, because I've seen this before. Like there was another person who was in every single one of our live streams. I haven't seen him in a while. I can't remember the name, but it was a piano channel, and they were doing this exactly, not in red, but this exactly.
Right.
yeah,
It's kind of like those channels we see that they do like the nature sounds and stuff, and it's content that this is a lot harder to make, I would say, but it's still content that a lot of people try and replicate in the same style, and there's not a whole lot of newness being brought to the table here. Now, what I will say is, despite that, you do have a couple breakouts that we're seeing, like Wednesday Addams song, over 1,000 views. To me, the answer feels clear. I mean, if you can get 1,000 views, you can get 2,000 views. You can get 2,000 views, you can get 10,000 views. Just keep hitting trending songs. And I can see why you do Puss in Boots, because I think there was like a new movie, or at least I've definitely seen it advertised to me quite a bit. So maybe you are doing just that. And some of these I'm just not seeing as trends. It looks like I'm seeing some Roblox characters as well. But then the other thing too is, are you tackling the same audience every time? I think you can grow a lot faster if you continue doing like pop covers and not swapping between like pop covers and whatever these other 3 videos might be. Like, you might just be appealing every single video to a different type of fan of a different type of song. So it's hard to build a community around your content. But music channels are just inherently just tough. It's kind of hard to stand out for obvious reasons. So hopefully there's something here. What are you doing with shorts? Okay, similar, but you've kind of reframed them. And I mean, we're getting
the shorts are doing a lot better though. Damn.
Yeah, some pretty solid views in some of these.
Well, maybe that's your answer. Just stick to YouTube short. There you go.
I would say any music channel has a huge opportunity if they go to shorts. Any. Like if you're making music, I think you should absolutely be on shorts. And there's one reason in particular, and it was what I said earlier.
I'm blind.
In shorts, you don't get to choose what you watch. It just shows you stuff. So if you're playing music and people find what you're doing interesting, intriguing, if they like the sound, then they stop scrolling. Whereas a music channel, what you're doing is relying on me to see your title, see your thumbnail, and then click the video. And it's already like, these videos are already of shorts length just about. So it really, like, these should be on shorts. And I think you could compete a lot more and continue seeing good views, but just keep covering those really popular songs and let people find you scrolling through shorts. I still think long videos are valuable, but make them long. Like, this is like the same experience I can get on your short shelf. Make these a little bit longer, like 3-4 minutes makes a little more sense. But yeah, but keep at it. It's a tough space to be in, but for 3 months of progress, 2,000 subscribers, thousands of views on videos, you're definitely not doing bad. That's for sure.
vidIQ does know that short can get pushed. That's why we telling y'all to make sure, because we know that short can get pushed. What are you talking about? Y'all crazy. What's going on out here, yo? What is going on?
Come on, get it together. No, but I agree with what Dan was saying, because I think we're aiming at a lot of different targets with the long form there. And I've seen channels like this, with drums, guitars, different kinds of stuff, where in order to build a returning audience, they narrowed down what they were picking as far as trending content. Some people did it with K-pop, some people did it with hip hop. I've seen people do it with just anime, like just different theme songs from different anime. So because they're thinking about who's the end viewer and why would they want to come back, right? So if it's a fan of K-pop, then they're going to make sure that they're going after the girl groups or maybe the boy groups or whatever it might be. But I've seen that work very, very well. But that's just because they were targeting and they were getting more hyper focused within their niche.
Mm-hmm. We'll move on to a gaming channel. 90. All right. Lone Wolf. That's the name of the channel. Need to improve my subs and views. Well, don't we all? All right, let's see. So, Lone Wolf, this is video review day, but it'd be hard not to mention your titles and thumbnails. aren't really doing a whole lot. They're just kind of screen grabs, you know. So custom thumbnails, and then making videos that are about a specific topic. You can play Red Dead Redemption all you want. What are you doing in Red Dead Redemption? Why should I watch? That's the very basic first bit of advice I can give you just by looking at these videos right in front of me. Moonshine Mission. This is a very old game now. So like, are you doing a speed run of the mission? What are you doing that's more interesting? Something more interesting has to happen than you just playing the game. And maybe it is, but your titles and your thumbnails are not demonstrating that. Let's look at this one. So the video is playing. 5 seconds, 7 seconds.
Oh no.
So
No, no,
loading
no.
screen.
No.
No commentary.
Ooh wee. Yeah.
Let me just skip forward.
We
This made me want to play the game, but there's no commentary.
There's no commentary. Are you okay? All right. Let me try to be polite because you know we're here to help people learn. So here's the thing about this type of content, right? Red Dead Redemption is one of the most popular video games of all time, which means there are millions of creators making content about Red Dead or have made content about this particular game. So when you are a creator and you want to make content about Red Dead or anything else that's very popular in the mainstream, the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, why should somebody watch my Red Dead Redemption video? What makes it stand out? When you're just doing this, like a straight playthrough and no commentary, this is not to anybody. A newborn baby can make this content. Like, what are we doing here? Like, there's no value to this content. It can literally be done by anyone. So when you got content that has such a low barrier of entry, it's just not that interesting. Again, I can get this anywhere. The thing that makes YouTube unique and the creators on YouTube unique is that they are able to imbue their personality into the content. So what we need here is maybe you having a face cam of you on a screen while you're playing, or at the very minimum, telling us what you're doing, commentate us through what you're doing in this particular clip. We need something. We need some of you in here because right now we are getting none of you. And right now, the way that you have this content on here, there is nothing special about this content. There's nothing that makes me want to continue to watching this video because there's none of you in it. So I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is I can get this exact same experience playing the game for myself. So that's what you're kind of up against. Like, people are playing the game, they're kind of creating their own narrative in their head as they're playing. They watch YouTubers because they want to see a different perspective. They want to see someone else's take. So I think this content might have been able to work when the game first came out and someone just wanted to see a silent playthrough of all the missions or in a row or something like that. But you're gonna have the biggest channels, you know, in the space already covering that. So it's very hard to compete. So everything you do on YouTube is about standing out from the crowd. And so this is a video about stealing a specific horse. You could have told a whole story with this. You could have been like, you know, this is so-and-so, and that's not really their name, but that's the name I gave them. And today we're going to steal this horse because I want it for my collection. And like, you could like tell this whole story, and you could do these fun edits, and you could still have you use the same recording you have, but now you edit it down into a really bite-sized, interesting story using Red Dead Redemption as a tool to tell that story. The game is simply a stage for the story you're trying to tell. That's all it is. The game is a tool. And so that is going to be very, very, very helpful to your overall retention, your views, all of it. But right now, I was worried that this is what we were going to get based on your titles and your thumbnails. There was no effort put into the title. There was no effort put into the thumbnail. And when I got into the video, there was no commentary. And I kind of expected this might be what it is. Like, it's just me playing Red Dead Redemption 2. So in that essence, I did get what I expected when I clicked on your content. But the problem is a lot of people don't watch gaming content for this. They want personality. They want to be entertained or informed. They want something out of it. So yes, someone in chat said truth hurts. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I'd hate to like complain, you know, just drag this creator who's just putting out videos and trying to do their thing. But I will say this, very high quality, like the video you're capturing, and not all creators can do this. It was very, very high quality. Like, they have the HD capture down.
Yeah. Now we just need you to put you into the HD capture. But no, like, here's the thing, like, when creators submit their channels on our forum, They are looking for feedback to try to grow. If you're rocking with vidIQ, you want to grow your channel. So sometimes we might have to administer a little tough love when you're not doing the things that we feel that we know you can do to grow your channel. So in this case, we just need you to put some you into your content, because right now there's nothing there. And I mean, but hey, you got 300 subscribers, so clearly you're onto something. But you just need a little bit. We need a little bit of your personality into the content. I think you'll do a lot better that way.
Yeah, I think the subscriber numbers are probably coming from a few videos that did take off for them, but this is even 3 months, 3 months ago. Let's see. Hold on. I want to see when did the channel start. Okay, so even though they started 4 months ago, look how many videos they put out in 4 months. Like, that's a lot. This is a lot of time you've spent, and for the most part, most of the videos haven't gone where you've wanted them to, I'm sure. So it's time to take your channel to that next level and start to add some personality. Do something that other people would have a hard time replicating, because right now I could make the same exact video and I could do it in a few minutes, and that's the problem.
Also, just a quick point. Channel banners, you all. If you're going to put a channel banner up, we need to know what your value proposition is. What makes your channel unique? Like, actually, not what makes your channel unique. What will a viewer get from watching your content? I need that in your banner. Like, either you got to put it in words or make a picture, tell a story, however you want to do it. But if you're going to make a channel banner, we need to know your value proposition, because then it makes it easier for a viewer to decide whether or not to rock with your channel and check out your content.
So let's go to the next super chat real quick. Started back doing content about 3 weeks ago, and I have doubled both my sub and view counts thanks to vidIQ. Their advice works. Thanks again. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback and glad to see the growth.
We love to see it. We really do.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats today and just sharing your experiences too. That's really cool of you. Let's pick a non-gaming channel. 576. Someone who submitted kind of recently. Suit for Adventure. Okay. I'm looking for advice to gain more watch time and subs. One challenge I have for everybody, by the way, when you're filling out this form, can you give us a little bit more than this? And it's okay if it's a hard thing to fill out, but we do the stream for this very reason, trying to get you more views, more watch time, more retention, more. Is there any, like, we're happy to actually take a break from like reviewing the actual videos and talk about a specific topic if you have one in mind, like a question that you have that's like burning, and we'll still look at your video and stuff. But when I see stuff like that, I kind of wonder, like, oh, is there anything else going on with this channel? I would have liked a little more context. So yeah, and you don't have to put anything there if you don't want to, but we're all here for this. Let's dig a little bit deeper. That's my challenge for you anyway. And I just want to double check. They did say long form videos are their thing. It did knock me over to shorts when I got here, so I just wanted to make sure. Let's look at the latest one. Oh, I muted it. So seeing some rock music. I don't know if I have a license for that or not. So I'm just kind of like muting it and unmuting it, waiting to see if anyone's going to talk. Overnight ice fishing fiasco. Nothing went as planned is the title. And while it does look like there's some fun things going on, I'm already getting the vibes, Viper, that the title and the thumbnail are not really giving me what I thought I was going to get when I clicked on the video. When I see a title that says overnight ice fishing fiasco, I kind of want to see like a tease of you in a tent at night and something's going wrong. And you have your camera and you're talking us through it. Like, oh my gosh, we're flooding. The thing is happening. I want to see a little bit of panic. And then you can get into like this preamble that you've kind of set up. But right now, it doesn't feel like I'm going to get ever to an overnight ice fishing fiasco.
We are 25 seconds into the video, and I have not seen a single thing that relates to the title or the thumbnail for that matter. There's no hint that it's going to go down. There's just nothing but you riding a snowmobile or somebody riding a snowmobile, whatever. I need to know that I'm in the right place when I click on your video. Here's the thing. sometimes creators can be narrow-minded, and that's no disrespect to you all, but myself included. Sometimes we can be narrow-minded when we are creating content, because sometimes when we're creating content, we don't think about the viewer perspective and how our viewer will see the content. And we need to put ourselves in a viewer mindset. Put it on your viewer cap when you're creating your content. Think about what you will want to see as a viewer. If you can have that perspective and then create your content according to what you would want to see as a viewer, I promise you, it will go a lot better for you. Like, make yourself a viewer and watch your video as you would if it wasn't your video, and think about, hey, is this something that I can watch? Is this entertaining? Am I getting what I came for? Let's see what she has to say.
Well, I was going to add to that, knowing your title and thumbnail ahead of time helps, because when you're in your editing suite and you're sitting down to edit all the footage you just got, that's when you can ask yourself, okay, I know my title, I know my thumbnail, roughly what it's going to look like. What is the first thing I want people to see? You know, it doesn't have to be the first shot you took that day. You know, like sit down and like tell a story. Like, you know, maybe at the end of your recording, right? Like you have this overnight ice fishing fiasco. You realize, oh, with all the stuff that happened today, I actually thought of a really great intro. So that's the last thing you record, and because it's the hook for the video. You know, at that moment, you know everything that's going to happen in the video because it's already happened in real life. And you're recording your intro afterwards, and then you get into your edit, and that's the first thing you put on the timeline. And now it's like, okay, now the story can build. What's the second thing they should see? So really, like, you know, like you said, put your viewer cap on. Really think about what the viewer is going to see. You're making content for them at the end of the day, you know, so be there for them.
So the question is, can we use the four-wheeler on this trail? I'm not sure.
Let me back up a little bit. I just want to see if I missed something.
So the question is...
No, so that was the first thing we heard them say. But we're a new viewer. Maybe this is like an ongoing series, and this is like, I would know what's happening if I watch the other videos, but I didn't know that was the question. I thought we were here for an overnight ice fishing fiasco. So just remember, that's what people saw when they clicked on the video. They don't know anything about what's in the video yet because they clicked from the title and the thumbnail.
Actually, I would have started the video right here, because at least at this point, we're going to get some inkling of something going wrong. Because she asked the question, will the four-wheeler work on this such and such trail? At least at that point, I know something might go wrong. So I would start the video here. Not what you did in the first 25 seconds. Drop that out. Start the video here.
I agree with it, starting the video with a person talking us through it, but I still think what was being said from a new viewer's perspective is still like, well, wait a minute, what? So again, just to reiterate, think about that person who just clicked on your title and your thumbnail. But we've hammered that point to death now. It's just the quality. Let's talk about that real quick. Really nice audio for being outside. Really, really high quality camera here. You're outside, obviously, so the lighting's nice and even, which is helping. But overall, like, you're using a really high quality camera and really, really good sound quality as well.
Yeah. Can we use the four-wheeler on this trail? I'm not sure.
So we went back to music and four-wheeler troubles, and, you know, so I'm kind of getting more of the same. And at this point, this is where I'm kind of feeling a little bit bored of the four-wheeler saga already, because I have not been like properly indoctrinated into the content.
My man Dan said, where's the content that I signed up for? Where is it? I'm not bad.
There's like a lot of music, and I don't know when the host comes back.
Lava. I think me and Dan are both wondering, where's that comment? There. Me and Dan are both wondering, where's the fish? I agree. That's in the title. That's in the thumbnail. Where's the fishing? Like, where's it at?
So, yeah, a lot of the video takes place in and around the truck and on this trail, and they're talking through a lot of stuff. I feel like probably somewhere in here they're maybe talking about where they're going, you know. So there's a lot of time here. They're eating what looks like steak, so I don't.
Are they eating fish? They're not even eating fish. Oh man,
that's steak for sure.
Oh my.
I know a cut of cow when I see one. So I don't think you fish for those. Here's the ice fishing. So we're 12 minutes into the video.
Wow. Yeah, that's a no-go.
Yeah. So I like the title. That's the problem. That's why I'm so fixated on it, because I think you did too. You knew this was going to be an ice fishing video eventually, and you chose to go with that for the title, but you didn't do anything until 12 minutes in. that indicated the right setting for the video. And I think that's the real thing that's holding this channel back is really just this. Of course, I think thumbnails could be a little bit better because it's just kind of repeated the title of the video in the thumbnail. You know, you're holding a fish, but it doesn't really look like a fish because of the angle and everything. So there's improvements that could be made there for sure. But even this, like having you drilling a hole in the ice and someone's face going, like that could be a more interesting thumbnail based on the title that you've chosen. So work on the thumbnail as well.
Okay. I need to comment on this because this is just disrespectful at this point. This is very disrespectful for all viewers. You mean to tell me that we don't even get the hook until 75% of the way through the video? Are you kidding me? No. Listen to me very carefully, y'all. This is not the way. If you have something in the title about ice fishing and we have to wait 75%, let me tell you all something. A viewer is not going to give you 75% of the video. You might get 10%. You might get 5%. No one is going to watch 12 minutes of a 16-minute video for you to get to the point. So don't disrespect the viewer like that. See, the simple thing is don't disrespect the viewer, and the viewer won't disrespect you by clicking off your video, yo. So this is kind of disrespectful. I mean, I know that they're trying to tell a story, and I get that, but you got to deliver on the click as soon as possible. Come on now. Come on, people.
Yeah. So that's our advice for Pursuit for Adventure. Giving you a lot there. I think what's nice about this channel is that like we saw a lot of those mistakes that we didn't see throughout like the stream. So we didn't get to touch on some of these topics, I think, earlier in the stream. So in that sense, I'm kind of glad. Listen, like all the negativity aside, you've got videos with over 1,000 views in some cases.
Yep.
You know, I think that's great. I think you're building a fan base. I think there are people, you're getting more views than subscribers in a lot of cases, which means you're probably growing kind of quickly. You're probably getting a lot of fans. You're probably building a community very quickly. So you already have like viewers that'll probably stick with you regardless of what you're up to, as long as it's still like in the pursuit of adventure, like bubble, right? Like you're still going on adventures. So this is really like a great start to a channel. You know, you've been at it for a year and you know, not a ton of videos, and there's already like a ton of lessons in here, like things you've learned, improvements you've made. So, you know, keep going, please. You know, please keep going. Keep working through your title and your thumbnail strategy, but mostly the hook of your video. Let's get that matching the expectation of the viewer when they come to your content. It's so important because that's the thing. That's the thing that gets people to click off.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, clearly you're onto something because you have a lot of views. Like, man, your views and sub ratio is very good. So keep going. But yeah, you got to deliver on the hook a little bit quicker than that.
Thank you all for hanging out with us for another channel review stream. Join us next week for our live streams. We got videos. Friday's video is all about thumbnails. If you are wondering a little bit more about how we make our own thumbnails so you can learn a thing or two about how to put together your own compositions, you are going to want to watch tomorrow's video. We've not done one like this before, so I'm really excited. Is it tomorrow? No, Friday's video. You're going to watch Friday's video. We've not done anything like it before, so I do hope you will check it out. Jeff is in chat again, but lost internet earlier. But Jeff, thank you for being here. Viper, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we might try to get Rob back for next week. We might bring him back next week. We might.
We'll see if Rob is good. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week. We will see you around. I'm just looking for the outro screen, which is here. See you later.